strike me down, I shall become more powerful than you could possibly imagine.
Hey everybody, it's Bulldog here, and the battle logs are finally here! It's been about 4 months since my first cheating video, which kind of triggered these, which is why I'm calling them Bulldog's battle logs. Although I'm not sure if I'm going to want to claim credit with this, with some of the outrage about it. But we can now, it's a good step towards starting to combat cheating. And as I talked about on my last video, this is not going to eliminate cheating, not by any stretch of the imagination. It is going to eliminate the obvious cheating. If somebody uses a Ugnaught to beat your Darth Revan squad, you're going to be able to see that. You can report them. They will get banned. And that's a good step. That absolutely is a good step. That part of it is great. It's not going to show you if somebody boosted their offense by 10% to help them win a battle. So it's not going to show the more subtle cheating. But still, it's at least a first step, and CG is working on other things actually to help with this. And they've talked to me a little bit behind the scenes, told me that they're doing some things. I don't know what I'm allowed to share with you, but I do want to say that they are working on things. This is an issue to them, and they are taking strides to try and solve it. I don't know exactly what's going to be done or if it's going to be enough. But I've criticized them plenty, so I think it's only fair that I do say they are working on things on their end. It's not just these battle logs, and hopefully we're going to get more anti-cheating measures coming soon. But that's not what this video is about. It's about the battle logs, and the part that people hate is that this is actually public information. It's all public information. So what a lot of us expected, myself included, was that it was going to be private. You could only see your own battles and see what people attacked you with. But that is not the case. You can go into anybody's profile and see their entire Grand Arena match history. And I shouldn't say their entire history. It doesn't go back like from the start of Grand Arenas. I think it's only the last two series, so 6 total battles right now. And I don't know if it'll just show those, if like one will fall off as another one is added, or if it'll be from here on out that's shown. I don't know exactly. But so far we've got a 6-match history. And you can go in and see who somebody set on defense, who they used to attack with what, whether they won or lost, how many points they got. And that's very different than what we expected, because if you're playing somebody, you can now go scout their defense and see what they said in the past. And you can look and see what they did offensively and which battles they struggle with. So if you have problems with a General Grievous squad, everybody's going to see that you're having problems with the General Grievous squad, and they're going to set Grievous on defense every single time. So that it's going to change the Grand Arena game, and a lot of people aren't going to like this. There's a lot of complaints, and I think those are perfectly valid complaints. Me personally, I actually love it. So I think I'm going to be in the minority here. I'm not sure. Again, no hatred whatsoever to the people that don't like it. I completely get your opinion, but I love being able to see all this information for a couple reasons. First off, it's now even the playing field. And when I was playing before, I was never sure if my opponent was actually knew what I'd set in the past. And sometimes I'm the type of person that when I get my Grand Arena group, I will actually go in and talk to all 7 of those people, and some of them will talk with me, some won't, but chat with them. And a lot of times the defenses are exchanged. And I never know if the other person can see that. I never know if the information that people are offering up to me, because I actually never ask for it because I don't want to see it, because I don't know if it's reliable. So I don't know if the data they're offering up to me is good, or if they're working with the other person and they're offering me up a bad set of data. So I never really looked into it too much, but now I know the information is reliable, and I know the other person can see my information. So there are guilds out there that track defenses that are set to share with their guild. There are some discords out. I shouldn't say some discords, but there are some channels that help keep that. And there are other people that could be just chatting back and forth with the members in the group and sharing defenses. So I never know if they can see what I've got. So now it's all laid out in front of us. It's an even playing field, and now it becomes another kind of mind game there. So when you can see what your defense or your opponent set on defense, or when they can see what you set, So how do you change it up? Do you try to use that information against them? Maybe in the first round you set kind of a decent front line but not elite, and then you put a weak defense in the back. So you're trying to save a lot of offense, and you're kind of hiding those weak teams in the back and hoping they'll save their top teams, thinking you might have your top team set in the back, and then they don't do as well on that front line because they're trying to save stuff, but they really didn't need to. So maybe you set your defense up that way once, and then round two, your opponent can see that and they look at that, and you set the exact same front line. So they go in thinking, okay, they just kept their defense the same. So I'm going to go in hard on that front line, knowing that they've got crap in the back. But this time you load up the back with your Darth Revan and General Skywalker or whoever. So they waste all their good teams on the front, and then get to the back and they're screwed because they don't have any of it left because they thought you had a weak defense in the back. So you get these type of mind games like that I think will be kind of interesting and be fun, and it just adds a different layer to Grand Arena while keeping the playing field pretty even. I guess the people who are not on an even playing field are those who don't use swgoh.gg. Most of those aren't going to be that competitive anyways, and if you're not using swgoh.gg, then you don't have a profile, so they can't go directly to your profile and look at that. Now they can probably find out some of your opponents and go an indirect way to see that, but that makes it a lot more difficult. So it can kind of be a little more balanced there, but anyways, it is kind of a pain that you have to use an external site to see all this information, and I don't like that part of it, but still, the information is there. Those who are competitive are going to be on an equal playing field, and you can see it. But let's get in here and actually see what we mean. And the other thing people don't like, especially the very high-end players, is that you can go in and see their counters. The super secret TI counters, we can go in and see what they're using. And I can see why people at the top don't actually like that, but that they're going to, unfortunately, they're going to be on display for everybody to look at. If you're tops in Arena or Grand Arena, people are going to be going in and looking at your swgoh.gg to see what you're doing. That's just how it's going to be now, at least assuming they keep it like this. So if you're at the top of the arena, you're going to be in an open book for everybody to kind of follow suit and do what you're doing. So let's go in and see what these look like, and we'll pull up some of the tops arena. Maybe we'll go into TI here. So this is let's get my screen off here, get it pulled up. Okay, here we go. We are in the main website, and let's go to TI. Sorry, TI, to pick on you, but plenty of people are going to be doing this, so I'm not showing anybody anything that they're not already going to look at. So you've got the top squads here, and actually, so I was planning on going into TI, but let's give them a break for right now. We've picked on TI enough, and I'm seeing Oblivion's name right here, and I know Oblivion is a good player and is he was at the very top of Grand Arena. I don't know if he finished first or not, but he was first for a little while, or maybe top 3. I know he is very good, so I'm curious to see what he is using. So let's go in and look at this and see what his matches look like. What are the whale matches look like for the very best in the game, and what counters are they using? So if you go down here, you saw, sorry, I should talk through what I'm doing here. On the GAC history, you can actually pull up and see what they've got. And so now it's showing two different, you can see on 1129, 1122. So we've got 6 battles to look at. And it does say, so there's a note here, ship battles and early ending battles are not reporting correctly when lost. So I don't know if they're reporting units correctly. I don't know. I'm going to ignore ship battles for right now. And we're just going to look at and I don't know what it means by early ending battles. I'm assuming that means, like, if you forfeited the match, that it's not showing it right. Or maybe if it timed out, or you got one of those dreaded bugs where the ability icons disappear. That's still a problem, unfortunately. But I don't know exactly what that... I think it just means those types of battles, but that it's not really very clear. That's going to be my assumption, but I don't think it's going to be a big deal. Let's look and see. So the first one here, we've got somebody's using a Jawa squad on defense. And the first order squad looks like it did pretty well. They got 59 points here. You can see one protection bar that's not 100% full. And Jawas are actually an interesting strategy because when you hit them, they put those thermal detonators on and can can do a lot of damage that way. So I'm sure they're very easy to take out, but it's probably very hard to take out for full banners. So I'm guessing that's kind of the approach here, is just using those thermal detonators to do a lot of damage, and a lot of damage sometimes on those final turns, to make it so people can't get 60 banners against you. So not necessarily getting a win, but just cutting into banners. We've got, scrolling down here, we've got a bounty hunter squad that they use CLS against. I've never faced an Aura Lead bounty hunter squad. I don't even know what that would even look like. Nest against, that Jedi squad is not very good. I don't know. It doesn't show. I don't like how it doesn't show you the gear level, relic level, that type of thing, because you can't really see how good the squad is. But still, it's better than nothing. You can probably go to their. I'm sure you can go to their profile, the opponent's profile, and actually see where it's at. But you don't know where it's at when they had the match, or when the Grand Arena lock occurred. So that, I would say, that's an improvement that they need to make. But still, this is still better than nothing. And I'm scrolling through here. What the hell defense is this? Chewy lead with. Okay, this has. I shouldn't say I've never seen a defense this bad. I saw and again, I don't know what relic levels they are or anything. I've never. I saw some squads like that once, and that was when I was number 1 in Grand Arena, and the person just completely punted defense, and they wanted to keep their entire offense to make sure they got the max number of points against me, because they were severely outmatched. It was not going to be close. They were somebody who had actually taken, I think, 6 months or so off the game, they said, and were coming back, so they didn't have the top characters. They still had a lot from when they were playing before, but didn't have the top characters. And that was when I got reported for the account transfer, because people didn't like seeing my name at the top of Arena, and I got that was when I got that second account ban there. But I have never seen a defense this bad, especially at this whale level. I've never seen somebody who's actually trying to set a defense this bad. I'm not learning any information here, but you guys can see what exactly is going on. How many points did he score? 19,440. That's a lot of points. Although 1954 and 1954. What? Okay, now I gotta look at these. I was not planning on actually coming here to analyze defenses. What did he set on defense? He set some of the same crap. Okay, and it's okay. Now I gotta scroll through these here, because I was not planning on picking on Oblivion here. Look at these defenses. And they're on both sides. So this is okay, I'm going to go on. This is an unintended rant here, and Oblivion has actually worked with me in the past. I've talked with him some. I've rarely talked to him, but I have talked to him. He has helped me out with some teams in the past. He's a great player, a good guy from what I've seen. And this is not meant to be an attack on him. So I hope this does not come across as attacking him. I'm not trying to expose him or anything. This is why I hate Grand Arena Championships, because they encourage people to play like this. Somehow, I don't know exactly what the deal is going on. I kind of wish I had have reached out to him before making this video now. It's too late to do that. They are somehow padding their stats, and I don't know whether. So this was the last one. Like I said, Oblivion was at the top. I don't know if they were kind of letting him get a high score so that he could be number 1, or maybe there was just kind of an agreement between people where, okay, we're not going to set these teams on defense, and we're still going to have a competitive match, and both guys are going to try to win, but we're going to exclude these teams on defense so that whoever wins is going to have a really high score, and whoever comes in second is still going to have a good score. They're just not going to get the bonus for winning. But look at some of these others: 1937, 1922 as a losing scores. Those are very high. And so I don't know exactly what's going on there, but CG has designed a game that encourages this type of gameplay. This is not. I'm not viewing this as Oblivion cheating by any means. this is how CG encourages this type of gameplay. I can't even talk because I'm so frustrated. I made a whole different video ranting about how terrible the scoring system is and how I hate Grand Arena Championships and wish they would just go back to the regular Grand Arena where there was no scoreboard, because a scoreboard is meaningless when people aren't playing the same type of competition. And are you guys facing defenses like this? Because, I mean, I've streamed some of my matches, and I haven't faced the greatest defenses by any means, but I'm not facing defenses like this. And it's silly that our score is based on this. It really should just be... I'm not going to go into what I think it should be, because that's not what this video is supposed to be about. Let me click over to his last ones just to see. Again, 1932, more crap defense. And defense on both sides. So I don't think he's cheating. I don't think the other person is granting that Oblivion the win for free. I mean, that could be happening, but I think we would see better defenses from Oblivion, because even if he kept his top 8 squad or 7 squads, he would have some better defenses than this. His roster is loaded. And I hope this is reporting right. I don't have my own to look at, but this just seems crazy. Okay, here these other two are 1870, 1898. And this other, Virus Maxima, this is the same opponent. And here we go. This is a defense I expect to see at the high level. So yeah, there's a defense. This is a match here. This is what I was expecting to see when I got into his profile. And you can kind of see what teams even the top players are struggling with and what they're using. Again, the ships apparently aren't reporting right. I don't see any crazy counters here or anything that nobody knows about. This is a pretty cool Revan counter there. That looks like it worked pretty well. Darth Revan counter. And so what they do with their Padme, used Shakti and Barriss in there and still took out the Grievous squad. So that's a little different combo than I usually see. So stuff like that is what I was expecting to get in here and look at, and everybody can see what's going on. And some people are going to hate that. Some people are going to love it. I was not expecting to go on a rant about how terrible Grand Arena Championship system is because it rewards people inflating points. Now I kind of want to go into other profiles, but I'm sure people aren't going to like me. Again, and this is not meant to attack Oblivion, and I'm sure people are going to think that I'm attacking him and it's coming off that way. The same type of thing as when I made the video for the hoarding accounts and somebody doing a hoarding account. It's that same type of thing. They're not cheating for doing this. They aren't. And it's actually smart to do this if you can work it out this way. So I'm not... You say don't hate the player, hate the game. I'm not hating the player because he's playing within the confines of the rules to maximize his own score and do as well as he can in Grand Arena Championships. And that's a smart player. And I hate that that's what it means to be a smart player. That's what I hate. So please don't, nobody go criticize Oblivion because he did this. I'm sure if I went through other rosters on other guilds that we would see some similar things. I wish I had everybody who's at the top of the arena so I could go through or top of Grand Arena so I could go through and see how many people are doing this and what it looks like. Because I'm sure he's not the only one. I guarantee you he's not the only one. And the thing that will kind of suck from this is sometimes I have to feel like this is intentional because 4 of the 6 matches looked like that. And we're seeing it on both sides. But there are times when matches look like this when nobody's doing it intentionally. Like I said before, that if you are outmatched in a Grand Arena match, the smartest thing is to get the maximum points for yourself in a loss. And that means keeping your top 7 or 8 offensive teams, or maybe more if you think you're going to need more. Keeping all of your top teams and setting a weak squad on defense to maximize your own points and just kind of accept the loss. If you have no chance, I don't want people to just be looking at all their matches and think, oh, I'm slightly outmatched, I have no chance, I'm going all offense. But sometimes you get into matches where you can look at it and it's, okay, this person has 0% chance of winning. It makes sense to go all offense. And we will see some matches that have 1950 points when there was no prior negotiation and nobody's doing anything nefarious or anything like that. I shouldn't even use that word because again, that's not really what's going on here. People are playing within the confines of the rule to maximize their score. And I don't know, this video just took a completely different turn than what I was expecting. I can't even remember what I've talked about with these battle logs and what I haven't. I completely got off track, and I don't even know if I should publish this now, because I like Oblivion from what again, I don't have a lot of interactions, but what I've seen with him, I like him, and this is going to feel like calling him out, and I don't like that at all. But then I feel like this is a point that needs to be made, because in my previous video talking about the scoring system, I didn't really have anything to point to and show why I think the scoring system is terrible. This is Exhibit A for why the Grand Arena Championship scoring is awful, and I think it needs changed. I'm not going to go into how I would change it, because I could spend another 20 minutes talking about that, and this video has already gone over what I had planned for it. So I'm just gonna cut it off now, and I'm sure there's stuff that I forgot to talk about that I was meaning to, because I completely got off topic. But main point is, battle logs are here. They are going to help stop the most severe cheating. They're not going to do anything at all to stop the subtle cheating, which is probably the most common, especially at the high levels. Now, your early levels, where people don't have a lot invested in their account, maybe don't really understand what they're doing, I bet you're going to see a lot more severe cheating. And I would actually okay, if you guys see any severe cheating from your battle logs, you can now look back at the last 6 matches, send them to me. I want to see if we catch any cheaters this way. And if there's a lot of these, I will make a video, and I will post some of these. So don't only tell me, but send me some screenshots, and maybe I can do a video showing the type of things that have been caught on these battle logs. That would be really cool if we could already go back and catch some of these things, because people didn't know they were coming already. So I mean, CG said they were going to do it, but I don't know if people knew it was going to actually trace back, and you could see your last several battles. So if you come across things like that, please send them to me, and I won't name and shame people. We will take the names off. I don't want to actually call people out that way, so I don't really want to call people out at all in videos. So, but I do think it'd be cool to actually show some of the things that we've caught and see if it actually does anything to help. And I don't know if it will, because like I said, most of the cheaters are going to be subtle cheaters. But battle logs are here. They're controversial because it's so public, as we saw. We saw what we can dive into and look at now. It's open for everybody to see. And people aren't going to like this. I personally love it. I know a lot of people won't like it, but that's what we got to deal with for now, and we'll see. Maybe if there's enough outrage, CG will change it and make it private, but things are kind of out of the bag now. I mean, it's I feel like it might be a little late to go back to private, and I'm excited to have some of these matches where it's public, and you're going to have some more mind games going on to see what's going on. So it'll be very interesting, and I can't wait to see what comes of this. And there's a whole new update coming, so it should be here tomorrow as we see all the update notes. We might have a video tomorrow discussing that. We'll see. But for now, have a great night, everybody. Let me know what you think of these battle logs, whether you like them, whether you love them, and if you catch any cheaters, please send it to me. I want to see those. So thanks a lot, everybody, and happy gaming.